What up? What up? What up, Fin fans? Breaking news. The Miami Dolphins have re-signed, extended Zach Sealer, uh, the defensive tackle who was looking for more money. 3 years, $67.5 million of money for Zach Sealer. Listen, the guy's been fantastic for us. He is getting up there in age. He will be 30 years old. Back-to-back 10-sack seasons. But listen, he is the best defensive player we have on this football team right now. He is the man on this football team. Right? He's the vet, he's the leader. The way he goes about his business, he's not a drama queen. He didn't go and sit out, and he went about things the right way. And I think it's very important that the Miami Dolphins continue to reward players that do things the right way, right? We don't want these crybaby guys who, oh, I got a hurt ankle, I can't play because I want more money, right? This guy showed up to practice, showed up the training camp, putting his all in. One of the best defensive tackles in the league, and Miami keeps him around for another 3 years. That's huge. That's huge for this Miami Dolphins. That's huge for this franchise as a whole, showing that they're going to reward the players who go about their business the right way. And I'm super stoked that we've locked up Zach. You know, we didn't end up trading him. And this is a little bit surprising because the Miami Dolphins haven't been spending money this offseason. They haven't been spending money this offseason. Obviously, they traded away Jonnu Smith, another overpaid contract. Come on, brother. You can't, Michael K., you can't believe that another overpaid contract. Zach Sealer's one of the best in the game. See, that's why, like, Michael K., if you was a little open-minded and could admit when Miami did do good things, I'd take you more serious, with your criticism. But you can't say that Miami doesn't do anything right. You know what I mean? This was the right call to make. Yeah, we got a bunch of young defensive tackles that we drafted this year, and in the coming years, they'll continue to grow. But I think it's important to have a veteran like Zach Sealer on the team to teach these guys. Glenn is saying 3-year extension, $67.5 million. Let me see if I can't pull it back up. But yeah, what's that equal out to? 20 something a year? 20 something a year. One of the best in the game. He's not one of the best defensive tackles in the game, Michael K. He's not 10 plus sack season. Now it makes me wonder though, if Zach Sealer, it says agreed to a 3-year contract extension worth up to $67.8 million. $67.8 million. The new deal includes $44 million in guaranteed money. Sealer had 2 years left and about $15.6 million in base salary remaining on his previous deal with the Dolphins. He is defensive player in Miami. He is the highest paid defensive player in Miami per Adam Schefter. The Dolphins originally claimed Sealer off waivers from the Baltimore Ravens in 2019. Sealer, a 7th-round pick by the Ravens in the 2018 draft, had played in 6 NFL games over 2 seasons at the time. After 2.5 seasons with a growing role in the Dolphins' defense, Sealer went on to become a starter in 2022. Over the past 3 seasons, he's played in more than 78% of the Dolphins' defensive snaps when available. He has also been one of the Dolphins' most impactful defenders since 2023 when he recorded his first of consecutive 10-sack seasons. That made his previous contract, which Over the Cap reported ranked 31st among interior defenders, on underpay for his role on this team. Sealer held out on OTAs this spring, but attended training camp a decision for which head coach Mike McDaniels praised him on Friday. His actions speak, and I think his teammates very much recognize how Zach Sealer plays football and contributes to the building every day, McDaniel said. According to the team's transcript, McDaniel continued, I think Sealer has a vision of the team that I share, and he understands as a leader. Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, meanwhile, referred to Sealer earlier this offseason as the heartbeat of our defense. Sealer, who will turn 30 in September, will now be tasked with helping lead the Weaver unit as the Dolphins look to bounce back from last season's disappointing playoff miss. Now, that's 22 point something $million a year. I have to wonder if they would have offered that to Christian Wilkins. Could we have kept Christian Wilkins? Now, I mean, we could say, look at where Christian Wilkins is now. But at the time, Christian Wilkins was younger. Christian Wilkins doesn't get after the quarterback as much as Zach Sealer does, but I think he's a better run defender. But congratulations to Zach Sealer. He's a very important part of this football team. I'm surprised that Miami opened up the pocketbook and took care of him. Now, the real question is, how much cap room did this open up for the Miami Dolphins this year? And is this leading for another bigger move for the Miami Dolphins? What does this move mean for future moves? That are we going to make a move for a corner? Are we going to bring in some more offensive linemen? What up, Grandizer? What up? Because I'm sure this opened up probably $6-7 million at least this year. We were already probably at 12-13 million. That's almost 20 million. You know what I mean? That's a pretty decent amount. You want to go into the season with 10 in case injuries happen. So you can get a pretty decent player for, $10 million. And there's definitely ways to open up even more cap space. Jordan Brooks, you could guarantee his contract this year, give him guaranteed money. So, I mean, there's definitely other ways you can open up more cap space. But yeah, it says it. Yeah, it's an extension, Glenn. It's an extension. Yep, it's an extension. Now, Christian Wilkins was going off his draft status too. That first round label, he can go far in new contracts, as you know. First rounders who play well are not talking about Pro Bowls. Yeah, I'm very happy with Zach Sealer. I think Zach Sealer does things the right way. Obviously, Christian Wilkins is controversial. Even his time here, his shenanigans against certain teams, and when you act that way, and I loved Christian when he was here, don't get me wrong, but when you act that way, you're going to eventually cost your team a game. I don't, Michael K., I don't care where we're ranked in the power rankings. I don't know why teams are overlooking us to the point that they are, but I'm telling you, this offensive line is going to be different, which means our offense is going to be different. This offense is going to be explosive. There's one thing that you can't teach, and you can't teach speed. I think this front seven for the Miami Dolphins is going to be fantastic. I know you said that that's not the defense that we run. We don't have 7 in the box. They're going to figure out a way to get all those players on the field at once. Storm Ducks having a tremendous offseason. We need to add more corner depth, more offensive line depth. In this Miami Dolphins team, I feel really good about. And I like the fact that people are overlooking us. I love the fact. The last couple of years, we went in with high expectations. People were talking so good about the Miami Dolphins and gassing us up, right? Now everybody's overlooking us, and I'd rather be the underdog. The Dolphins' offensive line, I guarantee healthy, they're going to be a top 10 unit. What were the Bills off? What was the Bills' offensive line ranking last year? He's still playing under the old contract next 2 years. Then his new contract will start. They're not gonna turn any of that money into. You don't think they're gonna turn any of that money into a bonus this year? Because he has no guaranteed money this year, right? He just got 44 overall. And Glenn, that 44 overall guaranteed money, that could be off the old contract, right? That could be part of the 44. I'm not a pro when it comes to these contracts. It's definitely confusing to me as far as, there's a salary cap and somehow teams figure out how to go above and beyond it. They have void years and this and that and so many different things they can do to play around with the salary cap that it's mind numbing, right? Yeah, I'm not sure, Glenn. I'm not sure. But how do you guys feel about the deal? Are you happy with Zach Sealer, or do you think it was too much money? Do you think that, you know, we're supposed to be not adding or not extending older players? I mean, I wouldn't say Zach Sealer's old, but he's got 2 years. He got 2 years left. If this is a 3-year extension, that's 5 years. That takes him out to 34, 35 years old, right? Edward says, great move by Chris Greer. Has Chris Greer found Jesus or what? I don't know. I must admit I like a lot of the moves that the Miami Dolphins have made this year. Scotty says, not enough. That's our salary cap guy right here, Scotty. Not enough detail has been released to make a determination, but if it's an additional 3 years, the 44 million starts this year regardless. So I'm fine with that. Cool. But yeah, I'm happy with the sign. I'm happy with keeping Zach Sealer in the building. You know what I mean? Like the way we were going about business this year, it wouldn't have surprised me if Miami ended up trading him. You know what I mean? Especially with how many young guys they had, because they're obviously not pressing to. I mean, they're not going all in. That's for sure. That's for sure. Because they wouldn't be so stagnant at cornerback or lack the depth upon the offensive line. Now we did bring in an offensive lineman who started some games with the Cleveland Browns last year. Again, I do not understand why Isaiah Wynn has not been signed. Is there something behind closed doors that we don't know? Did they ruin the relationship? Is Isaiah Wynn hurt again? What's going on? Because I think Isaiah Wynn is better than anybody we have on our bench right now, including the guy that we signed yesterday. I just don't make it make sense to me. Isaiah Wynn can play multiple positions. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if Isaiah Wynn was on this team. And we don't need Isaiah Wynn to start. You know what I mean? Hopefully Austin Jackson, who so far in training camp has been the weakest link on this offensive line. And if Isaiah Wynn is the weakest link on this offensive line, that's pretty good, right? Now Isaiah Wynn is not I don't think he's a Pro Bowl player, but he's a all right player. He's not horrible, he's not great. He's all right. And if Isaiah Wynn is the worst offensive lineman you have, you're in pretty good shape as far as I'm concerned. What up, Aqua? We shouldn't act surprised that they extended Sealer after they guaranteed Minka his money via a signing bonus and created $11 million in cap space. Well, yeah, that $11 million, Zach Sealer's money's not coming out that $11 million. James Cook and Shakur. Yeah, Michael K. What's going on with your boy James Cook? He holding in now. Are they going to give him his money? Some of the older guys will have to wait until after week 2 to sign now. That's the way teams won't have no guaranteed money. Yeah, I understand that, Scotty. I just hate bringing in guys that late. I'd like guys to get a chance to get some continuity with each other. You know what I mean? I'd like it to get some continuity. But yeah, Chris Greer, in my opinion, would I have liked us to been more aggressive at the cornerback position? Yes. Would I have liked us to add another good, very good to good offensive lineman? Yes. But I have to admit that Chris Greer has done a fantastic job this offseason. He hasn't mortgaged our future. What up, CB83? What time? What time, CB? But yeah, I mean, if you look at the deals, James Daniels, so far so good. It looks like he's going to be a home run. Kenneth Grant, I think he's going to be a great defensive tackle for us. Jonah Savinea is going to, I think he's going to be really good guard for us for the next 10 years. Jordan Phillips, I have a lot of hope in that kid. I think he might be the best of the bunch when it's all said and done. I think that kid is going to be a Pro Bowl player someday. Let me see. And that's the way I'm reading it too now. So technically, he'll get paid $19.5 million a year for 5 years, and he got a little over 2 years guaranteed money. What other moves did Chris Greer make? I like you gotta have some respect for the getting Minka for Jalen Ramsey, right? You gotta give him props for that because we thought we was getting a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick at best for Jalen Ramsey, and he goes and brings an All Pro safety to Miami in exchange, right? Right. So I like that. We're gonna have a lot of open cap in the next couple of years. Big C, you have to try to get an early 53. I'm cutting guys I really want to keep. That's good though, right? That's good, Scotty, right? That means you got some good players on your football team. If you're cutting players to get down to your 53 that you really don't want to cut. Listen, you can't compare Poyer and Minka. Like they're not in the same stages. They're not in the same stages of their career, bro. Maybe the number one signing, the hidden gem, Willie Gay Jr. is lighting it up at camp. Willie Gay Jr., every beat writer's like fighting for this guy to get the orange jersey because he getting his hand on the ball. He intercepting passes. He forcing fumbles, recovering fumbles. The guy is a beast. He is a beast. Dotson, you better take your seat on the bench because Willie Gay took your job, brother. But that's good because Dotson's still a good player. And I'm excited for these linebackers. I'm excited for this defensive line. I'm excited for our offensive line. I'm excited to see Achane actually have some holes to run through. Absolutely, Scotty. And I thought the same thing. You know what I mean? Willie Gay Jr. is a Super Bowl champion. He had a down year last year, but, the Saints were horrible. The Saints were horrible. But Willie Gay next to Jordan Brooks? When was the last time we had two linebackers in the middle that were that good? I like our safety room. It sucks about Ashton Davis. It does. It sucks about Ashton. Melifanu returned to practice today. I mean, he didn't do anything besides warm up with the team and stuff. But Melifanu returned to practice today. I like Dante Trader. John Saunders making plays. Elijah Campbell's making plays. So I like our depth at safety. I like the signing of Mike Hilton. The guy's a dog at the nickelback. He's a dog. And if Storm Duck is stepping up, it sucks that we lost Cater. It does. It really sucks that we lost Cater. Jack Jones, that's another one. Jack Jones is a good corner. But Jack Jones he makes the greatest play in the world or he looks stupid. You know what I mean? Like, he takes his chances. That's a guy that's going to take his chances. But he is very talented. He just has some off the field problems, right? $60-something years and still no Super Bowl. 4 Super Bowl losses in a row is tough. Bills can't find a defensive lineman worth anything. But yeah, I'm super excited. Training camp yesterday, we had an injury scare with Jalen Phillips. He said chill out, just a bone bruise. Again, Austin Jackson's going to be out till week 1. That's shitty, but what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? But I like this offensive line. I think if Tua can stay healthy, we can run the ball. We're going to have a top 10 offense. If we can add another corner, if we can add another defensive back, a talented defensive back, and they're talking about trading for someone from Kansas City. I forget what his name is now. They're saying that's an option. But go out and make the moves. Go out and make the moves that you need to make to finish this team off. There's no sense of having all these expensive pieces, Tyreek Hills, Jalen Waddles, Tua Tagovailoas, Zach Sealers, Minka Fitzpatrick's, if you're going to leave gaping holes on the team. Fill those holes. Do what you got to do to fill those holes. I'm not saying we don't need all pros. We just need guys that are decent. We just need some guys that are decent. Kick Kerryon Smith out to the right tackle and key. Brunkskill is our swing interior offensive lineman. I heard Keon Smith did do decent the other day. But I'm super excited about this move. Zach Sealer staying with the Dolphins. Let's see what the salary cap ramifications are. And again, hopefully Miami adds a few more pieces before the end of camp. We got the Chicago Bears coming up here soon. Football is back. Super stoked for that. Again, I got my Cash App going across the bottom. I'm trying to make it to training camp later on this summer, the 20th, 21st, 22nd, something like that. If you guys can help out, YouTube demonetized, said I couldn't get monetized. So if you feel inclined and want to help your brother out, you know what I mean? But I appreciate y'all. I'm going to check out CB83 here soon. Come check us out on his channel. And I'll be live tomorrow morning. We'll talk some more football, 10 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys are there and don't be square. I appreciate y'all. Long time no see, Scotty. How you doing, brother? I appreciate you stopping through. Irving, Glenn, Michael K, everybody, Aqua, Dolphin Don, everybody that stops through. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see you at 10 a.m. in the morning. Let's go. Fins up. Peace.